We're back. Today's another cursed day, I guess. The stream crashed. That's why this one is feedback session version, or episode 13.2, part 2 basically. We were in the midst of giving Hustler feedback, so let's open the file again. And there you go. Yep, let's continue with the feedback. Open the file. There you go. Okay. So we started with the knees, making the legs as long as the thighs. I have a whole blog on the theme of anatomy download, so that when I would do the characters, you wouldn't spoil. Welcome back, Night Owl. Yep, we're back. Hopefully now until the end. I mean, it was okay for 3.5 hours or 2.5 hours. There's always something else that happens. You know, in the beginning it was Discord just disconnecting for some reason, and now it was a blue screen, which is pretty rare, but it's always annoying when it happens. I haven't found a solution for that yet, but okay. Anyway, we were at the body. So we talked about the length being the same for the upper and lower arms, as well as the thighs and the calves. We've done that. Hold on, we haven't. We need to add a file real quick, just so we can compare the two afterwards. There you go. Okay. 300 pages. Oh my god. There you go. Okay. So back to it. We talked about the length of these two. We talked about the body proportions, so that we have 50% upper body, 50% lower body, which also fit. We had the shoulder width afterwards, basically talking about how, generally speaking, on average, the head, putting 3 heads next to each other equals the shoulder width roughly. For females, it can be a little bit thinner or slimmer, let's say. We moved them outwards a little bit. Let me, oh, maybe like this. Smooth this out a little bit. There you go. Just a little bit wider. Perfect. Something I meant to ask before stream died is if using other 3D models as reference for anatomy is a good idea or not. I mean, depends on the reference, you know. 3D reference is better than 2D reference if if it, I guess, you know, if it's, for example, anatomically correct. The best 3D reference you can use, so if you're asking me about anatomy reference, of course, images like, hold on, like these ones here, you know, are pretty good. You know, you can see all the muscles and all that. You know, you can see all the muscles of the body. But what is even better is not only that it's 3D, but that it's made in real life. So how about your own hand? How about your own face? You know, if you want to have face reference and you have no, you want to have the perfect reference, you just grab, hold on, you just grab a mirror, you know, here, look at the mirror, look at it. Woo. See, you can grab a mirror and look at yourself, and you're the best reference for your project. You might not want to create yourself, but you can at least see how the muscles react, how the muscles move, the proportions of your face, and of course your face and yourself, you're 3D. So I would say the best, I guess, anatomy genital might be a little bit different, but you know, genital anatomy, I mean, but I guess, like, for example, face, or, you know, real life reference is the best. And 3D reference, I think, is better than 2D reference because you can rotate around it. You can see it from all angles. if you can find good reference, like maybe you buy or you download a model of an echo shape, for example, like this one. You can either buy one in real life or get a 3D model, like this one. I think that's amazing reference, because like you could rotate it, you can see every muscle, you can see what's underneath the arm, or what's, I don't know, you know, you can see every muscle from every angle that you want, in every sort of lighting scene, you know, you can light it however you want. So I think 3D models are actually better than 2D. We thought you died. I mean, I basically did on the inside. But yeah, we're back at least. Blame Biden. Somehow, you know, butterfly effect could be. Okay, let's stick to this. No more rambling. We said the hips, I mean the hips for females generally can be wider than for males. It doesn't have to be, but for example, for more thick females, for example, they have more fat on their legs, on their thighs. So they would have, like, you know, a little bit more over here, which would make the not only the butt a little bit bigger here, of course, and rounder too, smoother as well, but it would also make them wider than the hips, I mean the shoulders. I want to keep this pretty slim though, or pretty lean, because I think you wanted to focus on muscles more here. About woman's breast written in detail, okay. Yeah. So I think the width for the thighs look pretty good. So this shape right here looks pretty good in general for the muscles right here. How they connect over here and then go forward and connect to the to the knee right here, or not, they don't connect to the knee, but that's where they sort of end right here. They don't end, but that's what it looks like. And then we have the other muscle that comes from here and goes up like this. What you then have is this sort of middle part right here, where you have these muscles, and then you go to the back and you have these bigger muscles right here that look like this. These connect to the lower body, or lower bone right here, and the calves right here go in between these two muscles right here, in between these two, and connect to the femur right here. So what you have is, you would probably move these muscles up here a little bit lower if you have the knee right there, and then the calves a little bit higher, so that there isn't like this big transition. You would then give the calves up here some more volume, so they can move in between these muscles right here, and these muscles can also be a little bit lower, maybe like over here. There you go. This muscle actually here creates like this volume that you can see right here. There's a certain volume in the middle right here that makes the knee actually wider. Switching like any position, okay. All you ever asked for, basically. There you go. If you look at some 3D reference, you can see it here. Hold on, let me see if I can censor the junk. See how there's like an S shape in the inner thigh, goes in and then out again. Whoop, 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 whoop. That's what I mean. So making this a little bit wider can help too. So that you can get this S shape in here that looks kind of like this. Being created by this part here, then this sort of transition from here into the outside part of the leg, and then this volume here, this muscle, adding more volume into the middle. Right here. Filling the middle here. And then with some fat on top, you can create the thigh gap. There you go. You would of course separate the two here. There you go, but in general, like this. Okay. Yeah. So here you can see we've kind of moved down a little bit, so that the this distance here between the two isn't as big. Okay. What I like is that you kept the diagonal here in mind. The diagonal meaning that this leg, or that this cab, part of the cab, is lower than the other one. So you have like this diagonally right here, which is the exact opposite than here. Yeah, so this part of the muscle is a little bit higher than the other one. You can maybe even poke it out a little bit more to highlight that, like this, and then maybe make this a little bit thinner. There you go. Okay. For females, that would probably not be as thick as it is right now. I'm just kind of highlighting the muscles. One thing that kind of stuck out to me was the back right here. Looking at the reference, for example, what it kind of looks like right now is like there's like this void right here. There's something missing right here. If you look at the reference, my 3D reference, you can see how it's not the case right here. Let's see. We turn it like this way, you can see it's basically like a straight line right here. So the thing that is missing is this part right here. It's hard to see. See this thing? First of all, one thing to keep in mind is the latissimus that connects to the arm to do this movement. Well, only downwards. Upwards is for the shoulders do the upwards movement, but the latissimus that comes from down here goes up to the shoulders and connects to the bone. That one moves all the way down to the tailbone, let's say. So it doesn't end somewhere over here. It actually goes down, all the way down to somewhere over here. And there's like the small little piece here in the middle. So it looks more like this. So it actually filled some space right here. So we've already filled some of that space. There you go. We also separate this. There's like a lower back muscle here too. And then we have this thingy here, the flower I like to call it, somewhere over here. And then we have the neck muscle right there. There you go. Then we have the lower. What does the lower thingy actually look like? Something like this actually. And then we have the latissimus right here. There you go. But then there's something missing still. But who forbids me to use it for 3D models? I mean, nobody. I mean, if it's for sculpting, then it's also, you know, good for 3D sculpting. I mean, digital sculpting. So, and then there's one more thing missing, which is the hip bone. I mean, the hip muscle. That one is kind of weird to me. I didn't really look into that too much yet. But it basically bridges the gap from here to this muscle, to the latissimus, and creates some more room here. The butt muscle, the outline generally, looks something like this. Hold on. Looks something like this. There you go. And then you have like this indent here. There you go. Generally, oh, another good rule to keep in mind. I wanted to talk about that before. Another good rule to keep in mind is the butt width. The hips are wider than the butt cheeks, let's say. So looking at this, looking at it from the bottom or from the side, you can see how the hips right here are wider, and then it narrows to the butt cheeks. Okay. So you get this sort of slope right here. It's not like this, you know. It's not like a pillow. They're muscles. They have to attach to something. So they attach here in the middle, and then they attach to the muscle or to the what is it? To the leg right here. So it looks something like this. And you have like this clear slope right here. Like this. Okay? That's also why when you tense up your butt, it basically does this. Whoop. Because it kind of flexes and gets condensed, I guess you could say, and it looks more like this. So if you flex your buns, zip, that's what it does. Yeah. And then we can fill this space here. Hold on. We move this down a little bit. There you go. And then we can flex, we can fill this hip space here with some more volume. Like this. It's maybe a little bit too big right now, but yeah. Also, generally speaking, from like this hip line right here, this love handles you call them, they go upwards diagonally, and then at some point they go like back like this. They don't go diagonally up, they sort of go backwards like this. So they create this straight line right here. And then you have this thing here. And that's what fills this void up. And then you have some more muscles right here that go and connect to the top. Right here. Okay. That's why I do not like create male characters. I do not like their naked silhouettes. But this, they're better to learn anatomy because they're usually leaner and the anatomy is a little bit clearer. Yeah, we couldn't cover everything, but hopefully this helps a little bit. So like the structure of the neck, I like this here. I like this. This looks good. The structure here. There you go. Wait. There you go. I think it also helps right now. You can see the muscles are very washed out. I think it also helps just how I did it before, just using the crease brush and creating like clear muscle lines to define the body a little bit. And then once you've defined the body, what you can do then is you can just smooth it to make it a little bit more, smoother, a little bit, add some fat to everything basically. Okay, so what we've done here in the back. Maybe make this wider. Okay, yeah. But let's look at the before and after real quick. We have this. Generally what we've done before, what we've done in the beginning is legs. So legs before and after. Before, after. We move them up a little bit, the knees, so the thighs are as long as the calves. And we also changed the back a little bit so that the, we raised this because that's part of the knee. We filled it up a little bit to visualize it again. See how there's it's hard to see, hold on. Dude, how do I, okay. Nope. Oh no, you saw the junk, oh no. Okay. There's I don't know, if somebody knows that video, I need to see it. Okay, that's the last thought I'm gonna do. There's a video of dudes naked standing in front of the camera, but they have like these bars as like censorship in front of their dicks basically. And what they do is like they dance around, and then they animated the bars like very, I guess, organically, and then they would like grab the bars and rotate them, so they would rotate and they would still like hide everything. I don't know when I saw that video, it's like so old, but maybe somebody knows that video. Maybe has seen it, I don't know, yesterday or whatever. Maybe somebody can find it. But yeah, I don't know, that just reminded me of that, like trying to hide everything. You could see here how the muscle, especially here, transitions over, and there's like this clear cut here in the middle where the calf goes in, right there. So there's like this, that's the muscle coming from up top, and then the calf does this. It fills it up, this V shape. I might look for it. What video again? I don't know what it's called. I tried looking for it before, but I couldn't find it. Okay, let's go to the hip next. You can see we had like this this hole right here. That's what the hole looks like. Looking at it from here, for example, we filled that first of all by extending the latissimus a little bit, going all the way to the down here. Also added the lower back. We just detailed this some more. Isn't really part of the lower back here, but what we've also done is we've made the we've moved the butt a little bit lower, or the muscles right here, so that we can introduce the hip muscles right there that sort of fill the space here in the back too. This way we can create a more natural back arch right there. Then for the butt, we just detailed it out a little bit more. It was already pretty it was thinner than the hips, but I think we can make it even thinner just a little bit to kind of I guess define the muscles a little bit more. This is pretty round. This is more defined, like this. You can probably work on this some more. It looks kind of odd right now. I think they can also be. I think the butt in general is a little bit lower than the groin. Yeah, and then we change the shoulders a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna save this, put that in the drive folder too. Let's go to the last one. Okay. So much stalling today, not only by me but by my PC too. Let's get to it. I don't wanna extend it for too long to get another crash. Okay. Yeah, let's open the last one. The last one is by Passion. They made another face. Well, this time they focused on something else, which is, what was that? What happened? I had some weird. Oh, I think it was the music. Hold on. There it is. What is that? Oh, why? Do you hear that? Hold on, let me make it louder. Why? What is that sound effect? It sounds so weird. I got so scared by that. Oh my god. Okay. Why would they add that? That sounded like a dragon. Okay. Okay. Let's get to it. Yep. So they focus on details for the pores. So yeah, so what they did is they first of all retopologized the head. Takes a while to load, I guess. Give it a minute. There it is. So that's, oh, wait, what? Oh, I changed the, oh, okay. There it is. So that's the before. Retopologized. Retopology geometry looks pretty good. It looks maybe a little bit, they could maybe be a little bit more geometry here, although I think it's enough. Actually, I think it's enough. And then we have the high resolution right here. Let's actually go, maybe start from 2, then go higher. Of course, they added quite a lot of geometry, or subdivided quite a lot, because they wanted to sculpt some details. I think what I've noticed while looking at this, it looks like you got some alphas for this, because the structure themselves of these pores looks very detailed. I think too detailed to sculpt it this way. They're just like layers of bumps, not only inwards but also outwards, that is very hard to just like manually sculpt. Same with the lips. So I think you got some alphas. Maybe I'm wrong. your PC's possessed, maybe. But yeah, the pores, as Lego noticed, or I guess, said, have a certain, or they require some more adjustments. I think, yeah, what you wanted to do is you wanted to try out your alphas. You tested them. One thing that I noticed immediately is that they have different sizes. That is not necessarily a problem, but I think they changed their size pretty drastically right here. You can see these ones are pretty dense, pretty small, and these ones then are pretty big and pretty blurry too. So generally, of course, they just have a more even layout. They have a more even transition between bigger pores and smaller pores. Generally speaking, you have, for example, shallower or smoother skin at the tip of the nose. You have also maybe bigger pores on the tip of the nose compared to, for example, the eyelid here, or other areas like the lips too, or the chin. I think the model right now is kind of tanking my performance. Let me turn it down a little bit. I think 5 is still enough. So yeah, let's talk about the pores first. Let's go over the adjustments that Lego suggested, or the corrections, let's say, the feedback. So, tried to finish it for today, but live wouldn't let me finish it. The next session I should have something way better. Okay, I mean, we can still give feedback too, though. Should look at how pores vary across different parts of the face. Under the skin, the eyes look a little different from the forehead or cheeks. So what he's talking about right here is the hold on, is the music? Okay. What he's talking about is the transition, or the I guess, the lines that are being created by how the skin gets stretched while you're moving your face. So if you look at this, for example, you can see, if you observe these pores, they oftentimes stretch in a certain direction, or you can make out lines between them, just the way how they're like lined up. So here you can see these lines drawn in, and these lines are all basically being created by how you move your face. So for example, these lines right here, if you close your eyes like this, you want to, like, do this. You I guess flex your eyes. I don't know what you would call that. You just kind of close them a little bit. That sort of creates like this inward rotation and creates these lines going outwards in this S curve. Then if you smile a lot, you would push the skin upwards, which would condense it or kind of squish it together, which means you get these lines like this. They're basically like folds that you would see in leather or in any other material like fabric, just of course in skin. So they kind of manifest in the skin, the older you get. The same with the lips right here. You oftentimes have a very prominent line right here for a lot of people. This line right there, I don't know what the exact name is, but there's a specific name for that fold. Like if you smile, you can see it very well right here. And then there are more pore, I guess, structural lines that support that. Right here, for example. Stuff like that you could, for example, look at to detail. He showed another image sort of showing the structure of those pore lines. Also for the forehead, of course, if you do this, you create folds that sort of manifest in your skin at some point or stay there. That's, for example, something you can look at to, I guess, make your skin pores look more realistic, on top of making them, an even size all around. One tip that I would give you, though, to make your life a whole lot easier is you don't need to use 6 subdivisions. It doesn't really matter how big your, I guess, how big your model is. I tried that before too, like sculpting in the details by subdividing it more and more and more. But I think you can get better results by adding a material with a bump map and then basically doing the same that you do in scope mode, but in texture painting mode, and you just basically draw the alpha onto a texture. You can basically create a material right here, and you can then go into material preview while you're painting on the bump map texture, and you can see the changes immediately. So you can draw some pore and you can immediately see what the pore looks like. This way you can basically sculpt on the model without having too much, without having like an inordinate amount of resolution, and yeah, save some, you know, render time when you have resolution, but you can still have very detailed face textures or like pores. You can see them very detailed, maybe even more detailed than what you have here, depending on what kind of texture you want to use. Is it possible to make pores with noise? I think a better texture to use that I use for my procedural skin shader, of course it's limited on how well it works, but let me actually grab that one and see what it looks like. Let's put this down to maybe 2, set it to smooth, maybe even 1, and then let's grab my, nope, let's use 2. Let's grab the skin shader. Record on normal. There you go. Shader skin. So this one is based on a texture that I applied to the skin to give it these pores. Wait, what is that layout? Oh, there you go. Okay. And what oh, of course, yeah, you know, you would now see the bumps of the geometry. But what we can also use is a material. So we can use the procedural skin material, for example. For this one, I use a Voronoi texture to create the bump map. Welcome Manica or Passion. Hope you enjoyed your Thursday too. Yeah, so you can see that's what these pores look like. Of course, they're very big, so you can bring down the scale. I put that all in a group, so it's a little bit, you know, the overview is a little bit easier, so you can see everything a little bit easier. So you can change the scale, for example, for the pores, make them smaller. So they're maybe this big. So if you want to make this procedural, of course you can do that, but it has its limitations. It wouldn't kind of, I guess, it would still not look, I guess, realistic because of these lines that we've said before. There are no lines being created by a procedural pore, I guess, texture. But at least we can add some. I wanted to show you basically with this that you can also use a bump map to create the same effect that you wanted to do with sculpting. And probably also with less procedural, I mean with less processing and faster rendering times and less nerves, because Blender sculpting with that much resolution can get quite annoying and laggy. So what I would suggest is using a bump map and then just using those alphas on the bump map to create the same textures but in maybe even higher resolution and a little bit smoother. You just have to use a texture map. I tried sculpting it before, but it didn't really work that well. So that's why I say a bump map works better. Been falling on pre-C for a while, but pores are part of the thing I rushed. Can you just critique the model and texture? Okay. Oh, I thought you wanted to focus on the pores. Okay, well. Then let's go to the back to the material. I think it was this one. Okay. Yeah, too high of a mesh will lag in general, true. So one thing I see is the okay, you said texture. So I guess you mean the material right now. Material base color, displacement. Wait, displacement? What do you use displacement for? Hold on. Wait, you use a displacement on for the color, but not for the bump map? Okay. Okay. I guess to make the eyes a little bit darker. Yeah, okay. Of course, I just here to give a bit more, okay. And then another one for details. Okay. Are you using a face scan texture? Kind of looks like you do. I can't really see it that well though. Could be a face scan texture. Hold on. Let's use a bump map so I can see it better. Oh, hello. Okay. No? Okay, it just looked like that. Yeah. Oh no, that's your own texture, it looks like. Yeah, but you can see how we can still add like you know, some surface imperfections or some pores with just a bump map. Okay, let's look at the model then. I think, yeah, so we talked about the pores a long time. Okay, let's look at the model. Let me duplicate this. There you go. What is that? Is there another clone right here? Nope, that's just the eye, I guess. Or the tier thingy, maybe? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do some adjustments here in this view. I won't sculpt because I think that takes a little bit too long. I'm sorry that we focus on the pores too long, but let's do it this way. So let's go to the eyes. The eyes kind of stuck out to me. One thing is, generally speaking, of course, we said it before, the surface, that's good. Generally speaking, the eyelid down here, the lower eyelid, sort of connects, at least touches the lower part of the eyelid so that it looks more like this. So you can move it up a little bit. Also, if you look in profile view, oh, you baked it from Multires, okay. If you look from the side view, the eyelid is a little bit further forward. So it would probably be something like this. Oh, like this. The eyeball gets covered by the eyelid quite a lot, even down here. Okay, well. There you go. So it would be something like this on this, from this perspective, and then from this perspective it would be something like this. Keep in mind that the another thing is that the eyelid has quite a big thickness. If you, for example, look at the image that I posted in Discord, here, this one, you can see how thick the eyelids actually are. Look at the thickness. Look how thick that is. Keeping that in mind will make your eyes look bigger, like tenfold immediately. Just keeping in mind that the eyelids are actually pretty thick. I actually do this mistake still at some point. Like sometimes my eyes are not perfect yet. I still need to improve those. So keeping in mind that the eyelids actually have a certain thickness to them is very, very, very good. Okay. Another one. Let's see. One thing that I notice right now is the head shape. I think right here, I think what you wanted to do is you wanted to keep the plane of the head here, but what kind of happened is that you create this sort of harsh edge right here. Generally, if you look at a head, they're quite round. You know, sometimes they're a little bit, I guess, blockier. But generally speaking, I think this line can be a little bit smoother. Okay, yeah. Maybe also the forehead might be a little bit higher than it could be. I think you can lower this a little bit, maybe to here. Maybe just a little bit to kind of reduce the forehead size. I like that you've added the muscles right here. Great attention to detail. Let's look from this angle. I think the nose looks pretty good. One thing that I notice right now is the distance from here to here. Da-da-da. Quite big. You could probably bring it closer together. You could probably bring the whole thing. Hold on. What do you do with this? Are you a data nerd? Do you like these numbers? I think you can bring the eye in general closer into the middle. So bring all this closer over here. Okay, so that the eyes are closer together. Which also basically then results in the general rule of the eyeball here and the eyeball here. If you add another one in between them, the space between the two eyeballs would basically equal one more eyeball. Right now I think it's a little bit more than that. So bringing the eye in general a little bit closer can probably fix that problem. It will also fix the problem of here, the corner of the eye starting at the outer, I guess, edge of the nose, and then the diagonal here lining up with the outer corner here of the eye. Okay. Maybe what you could try may just be my taste. I don't know. Here, this diagonal, at least here, I think it can be a little bit. You can bring this edge a little bit further back so that it looks a little bit like this. That could just be my subjective taste or whatever, but that could help too. Okay. It works. It reminds you of iRobot. Yeah. Other than that, I think the fat pads look okay when it comes to, it's more, I guess it's supposed to be a female face from the features and all that. So, smoothing everything a little bit more makes sense. You could maybe You could maybe think about the eyebrow here, giving that some more volume. If you look at the planes of the face, for example, they oftentimes add like a cube or like a trapezius here that looks like this, or like a diamond, basically to indicate that there's like, especially you can see it for me too, looking at the forehead here, the Neanderthal forehead. You can see how it kind of creates a curve going inwards and then outwards again. And the forehead, the eyebrows are actually further forward than the rest of the forehead. Right now it kind of looks like it goes, the eyebrows don't really have like any volume. I think either bringing them forward a little bit or bringing the forehead here, bringing this back, can help create a more natural transition. I think bringing the eyebrows forward can help more. Can also kind of, I guess, round out the forehead, the eyebrow here a little bit too. Right now it looks pretty flat. Looking at from this view, I think you can really add some more volume here to make it a little bit rounder. Okay. Then there's one more thing that I wanted to look at, which is the animation that you've added. There you go. Nope. Isn't it F10? No, it's F12. There you go. You've added animations. Let's look at them real quick. Opening the mouth and closing the eyes. One important thing to observe when you're animating eyes is that in general, if you look at an eye, hold on, let me see if I can find a video. Eye blinking. I actually looked for slow-mo before. It's actually still purple for me. This one? Nope, this one. Hold on. I know you can't see anything. I think it's this one. Look at it. Look at it. See how this upper eyelid moves way more than the lower eyelid? You can also see how these lines for the pores get created, because it sort of gets pulled into the middle too. See how this skin here gets pulled inwards into the inner corner. Zip. Same with the lower eyelid. See how it kind of crunches together right there, right here. That's where these lines come from. And if you see, the upper eyelid moves way more than the lower eyelid. One more. It actually almost doesn't move, the lower eyelid. Only if you really flex it, it kind of moves upwards. But if you just kind of close your eyes, you basically almost only move your upper eyelid. Which, hold on. I only animated the axis hidden part of the mesh. I mean, you know, still, if it's something that might be helpful, then I'm gonna give feedback on it. Yeah, and then, you know, if you bring the lower eyelid a little bit higher, to, you know, so that it touches the iris, then you might not even have to move the lower eyelid. You can only move the upper eyelid, and I think that it looks pretty good if it's closed. Yeah, that's one thing that I wanted to mention too. But I think that's it. I'm gonna stop you right there. Oh, you couldn't stop me. I read it too late. Okay, yep. I think that's all. I'm sorry I focused more on the pores. But yeah, hopefully that was still helpful. That concludes the feedback session. Those are all the submissions that have been submitted. Hopefully it was helpful. Next week, or this week, I'm gonna finish Vi off stream. You're gonna see the post for that on Instagram at some point, and then I'm gonna make a video out of it too at some point. Probably, I don't know when. And next week we're gonna do Caitlyn. So we're gonna do the process once more. Just kind of, you know, now the first time with Jinx we established the process. With the Vi we improved it. We've learned some more interesting things that we can then use for Caitlyn. So next week we're gonna do Caitlyn, and then we're probably gonna do something different for the for the rest of the month. So yeah, hope these you know, points were helpful. Thank you for joining. Thank you for posting too, and contributing. Of course, as always, as I said here, hold on. Right here. Nope. Hold on. Do you see it? Nope. There it is. Here. Keep in mind that this is a give and take situation. If you want to get feedback on your work, I encourage you to also give feedback to others if you can. It's not like, you know, you have to, but if you ever, you know, see something that you might think, you know, could be improved. It could also be just like a, you know, maybe I think that could be improved. It could spark an, you know, an interesting conversation. Like for example, the one with the pores. If you ever see something from others that post in here, for example, you can, you know, for example, give feedback like James or like Lego. If you ever see something that, you know, you you think could be helpful feedback, to help others too, of course. I will always cover stuff that gets posted here, but I will also include your feedback then in the feedback session. It could just be immediate feedback, if somebody else helps immediately, but you don't have to if you don't, want to. It's not like you have to, but if you want to, I encourage you to give feedback. Other than that, hope you enjoyed today's stream. It was a little bit, I guess you could say, parted, divided, but we went through it. Thank you for joining, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, chatting, or just being here. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, hope you enjoy the weekend. Maybe I'll see you next week. Until then though, take care.